welcome back to episode 100 of the Wrestling Rundown.
This one.
That's right, you're watching us on this video. For those of you that don't want to watch us video style, if you want to listen to us, check our links down in the description. You can listen to us podcast style. It goes up as soon as the video is uploaded. So be sure to check that out if you want to listen to us on the go. Check us out on SoundCloud. Be sure to like it. Give us a rating. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you think about it. And for those of you watching the video, we're going to continue on. We're actually going to start the midweek wrap-up with a little bit of a somber note because there's been a story developing since early Wednesday. Adam Rose, who was already serving a 60-day suspension due to his second offense of the WWE wellness policy, was involved in a domestic dispute with his wife, along with some other charges. I know you know a little bit more about the...
Initially, they got into an argument. He forcefully grabbed her. She called the police. He would have been charged solely with domestic violence or domestic abuse.
Domestic battery.
Domestic battery for the forceful grabbing. But while she tried to call the cops, he attempted to take the phone from her, which is tampering with a witness.
Yeah.
Which, in that case, takes it from a misdemeanor to a felony.
Yeah.
So he's currently being held without bail.
Yeah, so his already 60-day suspension from WWE, which I believe was close to being halfway over, has now turned into suspension indefinitely, since we don't know when or if he's getting out of jail. And I can't imagine that this is going to do any favors for him as far as getting his job back. I'm pretty sure, unless WWE finds it in their hearts to get him help for whatever is going on, there's a good chance that we're going to be seeing the release of Adam Rose here fairly soon.
You know, I'm going to be completely honest. I was a little bit surprised that he wasn't on the list of people who recently got released, which I know we haven't even mentioned yet, really.
With
Alex Riley, Damien Sandow, Hornswoggle, El Torito,
Santino,
Cameron, and Zeb Coulter.
Yeah, and
Steve Lombardi.
Brooklyn Brawler was the most recent one as of Wednesday.
Yeah. Technically, he stated that he was actually released at the same time as all the other people.
Oh,
they just never announced it because he was working only as a backstage hand.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So he wasn't part of a talent contract.
Right.
As opposed to the other people that got released.
Yeah. So lots of it's WWE spring cleaning. It happens every year. Not shocked about a lot of them. The biggest one that people are harping on is Damien Sandow.
Yeah.
But he's getting indie bookings all over the place now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's crazy to think of that. I can't remember the last time somebody's been released. And the news of their release has them trending on Twitter for 3 hours straight. Yeah,
there was a WWE posted a YouTube video, and there was a whole block of comments that was just hashtag We Want Sandow, hashtag Bring Back Sandow. So yeah, I mean, I also read that he wasn't released because of anything he did. It was just timing. They're trying to do a fresh start with the roster with the whole new era thing. And so, unfortunately, they felt that Damien Sandow didn't fit into that since he'd already been around forever.
Yeah, and it gets to actually kind of on what, not to take this into a different direction tangent, but what Ryback blogged about.
Right.
Was being, if you're not the guy who's bringing in ratings, or you're not the guy who's in a storyline, or you're not the guy who's selling the most T-shirts, then you're on the chopping block, and you can get cut at any moment, regardless of how popular you are.
Right. Oh, Wade Barrett was also in the grouping as well.
Yeah, he's fine because he asked for his release.
Yeah, he was actually granted his release early because his wasn't supposed to be up until June or July or something like that.
Which he wasn't planning on re-signing, so good for him. That one actually makes me feel good about it.
Yeah, it was his choice. He posted that he's taking a break from wrestling. He wants to do some other stuff for a while, which is good. But It's unfortunate about Sandow. It's unfortunate that Adam Rose is going through this sudden outburst. Like, he never really... I don't think he's ever had any other issues of this kind other than his one other offense of the wellness policy. But, a big development for him.
It's a strenuous thing, I think, You got to think, if you're somebody who's not in a solid place on the card, and you get suspended for 60 days, that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I think, not trying to excuse his actions, but, when you're in that mind frame that, you have to think a guy who's not high on the priority list of WWE, and you're being suspended for 60 days, that you have to be kind of in that mindset that your time could be up at any second.
Yeah, and it's, yeah. He had the social outcast thing going, and that was about it. Unfortunately, there's I'm saying like a 99% chance that he's not coming back.
Yeah.
So,
which is sad for the social outcasts.
Yes.
Because they had a lot of momentum going.
And it was a good group of guys too.
Yeah. So maybe I'm hoping they find a replacement for him.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people who can.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Honestly. A lot of people...
Sandow would have been my first choice.
Bring Sandow back and replace Adam Rose with Damien Sandow.
Yeah.
But that being said,
yeah.
In a slightly related note, we opened up main event with the appearance of 2 out of the 4 social outcast members.
Yes.
I almost said 3 because I'm already counting the chicken before it hatched.
Yeah. Heath Slater was not out there. He's apparently on vacation, according to some posts on his Twitter. But also, the commentary said that he was feeling under the weather. So maybe he's sick. Maybe he's just taking a couple of days off. But yeah, it was just Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas.
Happy Man Connection.
Yeah. Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas decided it was a good idea to make fun of Cass.
Yeah.
And
also call themselves the best friends ever.
Yes.
And stuff.
And yeah, they attribute the fact that they're best friends, they have friends, but Cass doesn't because Enzo is hurt.
What if Adam Rose gets released and the new social outcast member is the Money?
No.
I think that'd be a metaphorical punch in the dick for Adam Rose.
Yeah, I think so. This turned into Big Cass versus Curtis Axel. This was a usual social outcast putting over the big baby face.
Yeah.
The Bo train didn't work out, and then Axel got thrown around, and Bo tried to cause some distractions. But ultimately, Bo ended up getting booted off of the apron by Cass, and Curtis Axel decided to jump at a big guy, crossbody style, because we all know that works. And he got hit with the East River Crossing, and Big Cass picked up the win.
Yeah.
So, then we moved on to our new favorite main event match, which was Apollo Crews versus Stardust.
Yeah, this was number 3.
This was better than their last one.
Yes.
Not as good as their first one.
No.
But still a solid match. I think they tried to go with a different mentality with this one. Stardust was a bit more physical as opposed to quick and jumping around. Both of them kind of grounded themselves as opposed to their usual high-flying style.
I feel like every match these guys have, they're like, okay, we're 2 guys, and they keep putting us together, and we don't want to bore the crowd every time.
Yeah.
So they're trying to make every single match that they have significantly different from the one before it.
Yeah. And this one had a good finish because we had Apollo Crews hit the Gorilla Press, and then when he went for the moonsault, Stardust got his knees up, so he thought Stardust was going to be making a comeback.
He got the knees up and actually cradled his head and rolled him up.
Yeah, he tried to roll him up. Apollo Crews kicked out and ended up backing himself into the corner. Stardust went for an avalanche, and Apollo Crews was able to move out of the way. Stardust hits the turnbuckle, backs up into the Crews missile, and Apollo Crews picks up the win.
Yeah, Apollo Crews is still undefeated on the main roster.
Yes. And then in the main event, we had Zack Ryder looking to prove another point on, he's had this resurgence in his career. He's getting more TV time. He's
He won at WrestleMania.
Yeah, he's been involved in a lot of stuff since WrestleMania, and he's looking to make a big mark by giving Baron Corbin his first loss on the main roster as well.
Yeah, I liked the phrase he used, is that the new era isn't just about being a new guy.
Yeah. He posted a picture on his Twitter and on his Instagram. It was you can't spell era without ZR, and it actually had his logo in the middle of era, which was really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean he's really trying to hammer away the fact.
ZR would be Ezra.
It's a combination. I think Z is you can't spell era without ZR. It's like German.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the way I took it. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, no, this was a good match though. I appreciated the chemistry between the two. Baron Corbin playing not only the aggressive heel, but also the powder out, stay away heel.
Yeah.
And Zack Ryder having to go after him multiple times, which was good. Both of them hitting signature spots. Baron Corbin actually took the broski boot, which I was surprised. Like, there's a lot of guys that don't usually take that.
The one that surprised me was Ryder hitting a dropkick off the apron to the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's like a spot that is very uncommon and can't be a comfortable landing for the guy doing it.
No. And Corbin getting kicked right into the barricade as well. But yeah, so when Ryder hits the broski boot, Corbin ends up getting up, and then Ryder backs up off the ropes, and he's coming back, and Corbin just decks him in the face. Like, I thought it was going to be a clothesline, but it was just a straight punch to the face. It drops Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder gets picked up into the end of days. Baron Corbin obviously picking up the win, though a very good fight for Zack Ryder. Just the fact that Zack Ryder's on TV more makes me happy.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's something we've been wanting for a long time. So
yes,
it's kind of power by attrition because Zack Ryder's been around for close to a decade now.
I think it's over a decade at this point.
And
something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, him finally getting that another good push for the first time since the internet title was a thing.
Yeah. Let's move on to NXT, where we had the return of the former champion Finn Balor, coming out saying that he has a message for Samoa Joe. You know, he talks about how each of the matches they've had could have gone either way. The first two, Finn Balor won, and the third one he's about to talk about. The third one could have gone either way, but before he can continue,
yeah, his message for Samoa Joe was that Elias Samson's songs suck.
Right, Elias Samson making his way down to ringside, singing a song. Balor didn't like it very much. Ended up punching Elias Samson. Samson actually getting out of the ring, and Finn Balor chucking his guitar at him.
Yeah.
Which, good catch by Samson there.
It was a fun little bit because Finn didn't even look for Elias Samson. He just Pele'd.
Yeah.
And
because Samson was right behind him, just playing the music, and so he hits the Pele. Hits him a few times. Elias Samson powders, gets the guitar thrown at him, and then we had a backstage interviewer who I didn't recognize caught up with Finn Balor in the back, saying, "Hey, you had a message for Samoa Joe," and he goes, "I'll deliver my message after I get done kicking Elias Samson's ass." So
that's the main event.
Yes.
For NXT tonight.
But our first match of the night was American Alpha taking on Corey Hollis and John Skyler, our resident jobber tag team.
I like to use the phrase enhancement talent.
Yes.
And it was all right.
It was good. It was.
I think it was mostly to appease the fans by having American Alpha on the card.
Yeah. I did think that there was a chance that maybe Hollis and Skyler were getting closer to more of a developmental deal. Because those are two guys that aren't officially signed yet. They come in and it was kind of like what Blue Pants was doing for a while. Before whatever fallout happened there. So yeah, they're just kind of working, date by date with NXT, but they had the mechanics come down halfway through the match, and I was like, oh, okay, we're gonna get a distraction and a possible win for a new tag team. Are we gonna start like pushing this tag team? Distraction did absolutely nothing. All it did was give Jason Jordan time to put his straps back up, only to take them back down, hit the spear on Corey Hollis, and then Chad Gable with the assisted back suplex. American Alpha picks up the win.
And still over AF.
Yes. I'm gonna let you talk about this one because this is the one that you were looking forward to.
Oh yeah,
It's all
we had a backstage promo with Shinsuke Nakamura.
We did.
Where his only response to Alex Riley's new Riley Rage gimmick idea was that he's just shaking with rage.
Yeah. Nakamura didn't give two fucks about rage. He didn't give a shit. He was like,
he's very
shaking with rage,
mocking.
I love Nakamura. He's so cool. And then he got cooler.
He kicked Alex Riley's ass for the most part. It was shorter than I expected. I kind of expected there to be more of a fight.
They knew it was Riley's last match.
I guess, or
Though Riley did make an impression, specifically on Nakamura's chest.
On Nakamura's chest because he chopped him a bunch.
Yeah.
That's about all Alex Riley did. I mean,
he had a pretty good drop kick.
Yeah.
That was about it.
Yeah, the drop kick shit whipped Nakamura to the ground.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was just a lot of Nakamura using Alex Riley as a punching / kneeing bag.
Strong style bag.
And it's the thing that surprised me the most is I actually halfway didn't expect Alex Riley to take the reverse exploder.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, because I mean, there was a time where we affectionately referred to Alex Riley as Sandbag.
It's true.
Who
did he sandbag? Who was that?
I don't know. It was on the main roster back in the day.
Yeah.
I think it was Daniel Bryan and Miz and Morrison.
Oh, might have been, yeah.
Back in that day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it just kind of came down to that after, Riley pissed him off enough that he took him over to the ropes and dribbled Riley's head to the mat using his foot.
Yep.
And then, propped him up in the corner, hit the running knee strike in the corner, hit the reverse exploder, hit the running knee strike for the finish.
Kinshasa!
Which is, I think, a city in the Republic of Congo, by the way. Just a tidbit of the day.
All right.
And picks up the win.
Yep.
And had some fun, I guess.
Yeah.
Had a little dance number and then left.
Yes. We had Austin Aries.
With a 9-fingered handprint on his chest.
We had Austin Aries back in William Regal's office saying, "Hey, I don't want to be just another guy. I want to, I want to show everyone that I am the greatest. I want to show people what I can do." And he gets interrupted by Blake and Murphy, who are begging for one more tag title match. And Austin Aries is not only pissed off that they interrupted his conversation, not only did they just storm into William Regal's office, but they didn't even bring Alexa Bliss.
Well, they did.
They did bring Alexa Bliss, so that made it a little bit better. But William Regal decides to make a tag team match for next week. Blake and Murphy will take on Austin Aries and a tag team partner of his choosing.
I know who it is.
He knows who it is. I don't want to know.
I want your pick.
Well, you already told me my pick was wrong. I wanted it to be Bobby Roode. I wanted the reunion of the Dirty Heels.
I'll give you this. It's somebody who's currently on the NXT roster.
I'm going to say No Way Jose. That's my guess. It's going to be No Way Jose and Austin Aries versus Blake and Murphy next week.
It's going to be the team of two guys who do way too many superfluous movements.
Yes. But Alexa Bliss would have a one-on-one match against Rachel Ellering.
Yeah, daughter of Paul Ellering, the manager of the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
WWE Hall of Famer.
Yeah. And these two ladies had a damn good match.
Yeah, and she's a bronze medal powerlifter.
Yeah. So, she's strong AF.
Yeah.
And she got dominated a lot in this match. This was definitely let's put over Alexa Bliss. But I like the technical style they went with. They had a lot of chain wrestling right at the beginning of the match.
Well, yeah, Rachel Ellering's still fairly new to the business.
Yeah.
And it doesn't show very much though.
No.
She has really good in-ring awareness. She's got a good look.
Mm-hmm.
She's definitely very powerful looking. She's not quite as bimbo-y buxom as a lot of the WWE.
She's not Dana Brooke, but she's not Beth Phoenix.
Yeah.
She's kind of a happy medium between the two.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss ends up picking up the win with the Sparkle Splash. I'm excited to see them.
After the short trip choke slam that she does.
Yeah, her STO. Yeah. A good win for Alexa Bliss, making sure that she is she's definitely coming up next in line for a women's title match.
Yeah, she's making it a habit now of putting over or taking out second generation female wrestlers.
Yeah.
Because last match she had was Tessa Blanchard.
That's right. And speaking of the women's championship, we had Bayley doing an interview in the back talking about when she's going to get her rematch for the championship against Asuka. She talks about how Asuka, she's tough. She gave me the fight of my life. Blah blah blah. She gets interrupted by Nia Jax, and they start talking some trash back and forth, which ultimately leads to the two of them having a match next week.
Yeah. Bayley basically saying that she feels like she's ready for Asuka again.
Yeah.
She's more ready than she was the first time. She's been training for it. Which I think, if she's training hard enough where she feels confident to go to a match against Asuka, she should be a lot more confident going into the match against Nia Jax, who she's already beaten once.
Exactly. But Nia Jax thinks that, her size is going to cause problems for Bayley, and Bayley's not going to be ready like she was in her title match back in London. So we'll have to wait and see, because that match will be next week. And then our main event is Finn Balor versus Elias Samson. Finn Balor doing his usual thing, kicking the crap out of Elias Samson. Has renamed the Bloody Sunday to 1916. I appreciate that. That's a good little switch up there. But immediately after the match, he is adamant about sending that message to Samoa Joe. He wants his rematch. He's possessed with the idea of getting back what belongs to him.
Samoa Joe came out and started jaw-jacking.
Yeah, Joe is like, no, you don't deserve anything. I'm the champion. I beat you. You don't deserve any of this.
Apparently, Joe forgot about the running rule that champions always get a rematch.
Yeah, well,
that runs in the WWE.
Yeah.
He's been watching too much of the main roster, where like Kevin Owens hasn't gotten an Intercontinental title shot back. And
right. Well, William Regal came out and cleared the air about this, saying that Finn Balor will get his rematch at the next takeover, which will be June 8th. I was expecting some sort of stipulation, because there was a very dramatic pause, like right after he said, "Okay, this is the title match," and then Joe kept yelling, and then Finn decided to dive onto Joe on the outside and hold up the NXT Championship over Samoa Joe, dropping it down and then backing out. And leaving Joe laying right on the stage.
Yeah.
So, sending a message to the champion. We're 4 weeks away from the next NXT TakeOver, which will be at Full Sail on June 8th. So, I am excited for that. I'm always excited for TakeOver. It's always good.
Takeovers are fun.
Always.
Always. By the way, speaking of NXT, we're going to be going to a live NXT show in approximately 3 days.
Yes.
I guess 2 days as of posting this.
This
Saturday.
upcoming
Saturday, the 14th, at the Motor Center in Portland, Oregon. Just to let you know where we all live, I guess.
Yeah, we've done that before. If you guys are going to the show and you want to hang out, you want to let us know where you're sitting. Maybe we're sitting next to each other. don't know.
We'll tell you, we're on the floor. So.
Yeah. So if you got floor seats, let us know.
We're gonna be representing the rundown in separate areas.
Yes. So let us know where you guys are gonna be sitting. Maybe we're sitting next to each other. We'll hang out. We'll talk some wrestling, and we'll enjoy some NXT.
Email us. We might have a meetup prior to the show.
Yeah, let's do that. But let's move on.
Who likes old Chicago?
I'm down for old Chicago. Let's move on to Lucha Underground.
Yeah,
which
because
is not in Chicago.
We have some graver implications.
We have 2 title matches on this.
We do.
2 title matches and a match for an Aztec medallion.
Yes.
But we open up with Dario Cueto.
Oily Josh Aztec medallion.
Yes. We have Dario Cueto talking to the cop who came in and told.
Yeah, he's the chief of police.
Yeah,
police chief.
Yeah, he used to be a city official or something like that. He used to work with the mayor, but now he has some other employer. We talked about that a few weeks ago. But Cueto apparently pays this chief of police to pay his employer, and his employer is who allows Dario to keep doing stuff in the temple.
Yeah.
So if this wasn't in place, Lucha Underground would not be a thing. And so the cop lets Cueto know that somewhere down the line his employer is going to be stopping by the temple to check things out, and Dario gets a little nervous. So we have another thing later. We still don't know who this person is.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see what kind of clues come throughout the next couple weeks. But our first match is a triple threat match for the Aztec medallion. Joey Ryan.
Cops and jobbers.
Yes. Joey Ryan versus Cortes Castro versus Mr. Sisco. Very short match. Most of the match was fought between Sisco and Cortes, which eventually...
Early on, Joey Ryan got kicked out of the ring.
Yes. Eventually, Sisco ends up getting thrown out of the ring, and then Joey Ryan sneaks back in, rolls up Cortes, and Joey Ryan, I do believe, has the final medallion. So all the medallions have been spoken for. They've all been earned. So we might get some changes between now and whenever Ultima Lucha is going to be. But whenever we end up having the ceremony to put all the medallions in the Gift of the Gods belt. Mm-hmm. We have Katrina talking to Mil about all the things that he needs to do to defeat Matanza in the Graver Consequences match, and also saying that you need to watch while I lick the face of Matanza, who is a god, and I will bring us immortality. So they are in a very kinky relationship, where apparently Mil Muertes is forced to watch Katrina do stuff to other guys. Is that weird? Maybe not to them. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me. But what do I know? We have a Trios Championship match where Team Flippy-Doo, the current Trios champions, that's Dragon Azteca Jr., Prince Puma, and Rey Mysterio, defend against former champions Son of Havoc, Ivelisse, and their new partner, because Angelico is still injured, Johnny Mundo. And they obviously don't make a very good team, especially with Taya out at ringside. Taya and Ivelisse not getting along at all, like right from the get-go. The biggest problem, Johnny Mundo didn't appreciate the fact that Ivelisse and Son of Havoc had respectful handshakes with their opponents. Eventually this breaks down and Johnny Mundo goes for his flash kick, which actually ends up kicking Ivelisse, I do believe. Takes out Ivelisse, and then Azteca takes out Johnny with a head scissors into one of the guardrails on the outside, and so with both with both of them down, Havoc is left to take the 619 from Rey Mysterio and the 630 from Prince Puma, and the champions retain. And then we have a cat fight between Ivelisse and Taya afterwards.
Yeah, Taya jumps her while she's trying to check on Son of Havoc.
Yeah, eventually this will be leading into an intergender tag team match. We'll have Taya
Which
and
could
Johnny.
happen in Ultima Lucha.
Oh yeah?
Because if my calculations are correct, there's only 1 or 2 weeks until they're going to be hosting Ultima Lucha.
Right, because Ultima Lucha is a 3-week thing this year, right?
Ultima Lucha is 3 weeks this year, and just basing it solely off of what I'm looking here of Matanza's Cueto's matches, and going by where he's here, casket match with Mil Muertes, he only has one more Lucha Underground Championship defense between now and Ultima Lucha. Okay, so this was episode 16.
Okay.
Ultima Lucha apparently will start on episode 21.
Okay, so we have 5 more weeks, or 4 more weeks of regular Lucha Underground, and then we begin a 3-week Ultima Lucha extravaganza.
Yeah, Ultima Lucha Dos Part Uno Dos and Tres.
Yes. But our main event is the Graver Consequences. 4 caskets. That's right. 4 caskets
I thought
at
you were going to say
ringside.
for the Lucha Underground Championship.
Well, I hadn't got that far yet. 4 casket matches. 4 caskets at ringside.
It's
4
caskets.
the
match.
Lucha Underground Championship. Yeah, those caskets got a lot of action. They were, like, right at the beginning, they were immediately all put to one side, and...
Off the apron flatliner.
Yeah, Mil Muertes hitting the flatliner onto all 3 caskets off the apron.
Yeah, first, Muertes took the first casket bump because he got thrown over the top rope onto one of the caskets.
Right, yeah. They just fucking bounced off of it.
Towards the end, Muertes got power bombed onto one of the caskets.
His back was messed up by the end of this match.
It's gonna be bruised as fuck.
Matanza ripping his mask and then clubbing him in the head with the turnbuckle that Mil Muertes had pulled off. He got a couple shots on Matanza, but Matanza, you can't open Matanza's mask. Matanza just rips Mil Muertes' mask open and beats him like a fucking dog.
Yeah, splits him open.
Katrina and Dario Cueto getting involved in this situation. Katrina ended up getting hit with one of the chairs by Matanza.
And that knocked her out cold.
Yeah, she was done at that point, and Matanza ended up grabbing the stone and throwing it into one of the caskets, and then going back over and actually picking her up and putting her in the casket. And this really incites Mil Muertes, who's trying to pull another casket into the ring.
I want to say before this also, clever use, they brought a chainmail glove into the match.
Yeah! It seems so out of place when it...
Because they pulled it out of a toolbox.
Yeah, and Matt Stryker made sure to that's not something you usually find in a toolbox. Why is that in there? That was obviously planted there.
Yeah, and they thought, at first when they saw it, before he realized it was made of chainmail, he was, throwing out ideas that maybe it was a lead-lined glove, like a coal miner would wear, or a welder's glove. Mm-hmm. But it ended up being a chainmail glove like knights would wear when they do sword fights.
Yeah, to avoid getting their hands cut off. And so, Mil Muertes immediately puts this on his hand. He gives a couple real stiff shots to Matanza's head and uses it to his advantage. And then at one point, he's in a casket.
Yeah, Matanza's about to beat him, basically.
Yeah, they're on the outside. He's trying to keep the lid up. I think he's got one leg out.
Yeah. And
Matanza's pushing it down. And then all of a sudden, his fist punches through the top of the casket, grabs the fucking jumpsuit of Matanza, and slams his face on the casket, which was fantastic.
That might have been my favorite spot of the match.
That was so good. So eventually, after Katrina gets thrown into the casket, Mil Muertes, he's trying to pull the casket into the ring. He sees this happening. He's not happy about it. That's when Matanza ends up giving him the powerbomb on the corner, and then ultimately hitting Wrath of the Gods into the casket, and Matanza retains the Lucha Underground Championship. Now, things get really interesting after this match, because first we have Dario. He wants to go over and he wants to gloat to the fact that Matanza just beat Mil Muertes. So he goes to open the casket that Katrina was in, and she is gone.
Yes.
She is not in that casket anymore. We get the funeral procession comes out. They end up pulling the casket out of the ring, putting it on a little wheelie thing, and they're pushing it back. And as they're going through the entryway that they're taking the casket through, it zooms in on this hooded figure that's at the head of the casket. The hood goes back, and it's King Cuerno, who was actually stalking Mil Muertes earlier when Katrina was talking to him. So King Cuerno apparently is he going to get that trophy that he wanted? Is he going to take advantage of the fact that Mil Muertes is dead? And
it's gonna be real dark if, like 2 weeks from now, King Cuerno comes out for his next match on Lucha Underground. He's just carrying Mil Muertes' head.
Oh, I'd kind of be okay with that. Anyway, before Lucha Underground goes off the air, we go back to the police chief, gets in a limo, tosses the money to his employer. He's really nervous when he talks to the guy, saying, "Hey, I let Dario know that that you'll be stopping by. He still thinks that his brother is the strongest man in the world, but that's not true because that's you." And we get a quick flash over to this person lighting a cigar. And that's all. We get a couple flicks of a lighter, and we see the end of a cigar get lit up, and then that's it. So we never actually see the person's face. Not sure where this is going. I'm very interested to see who this ends up being. So yeah, some interesting developments. Like we said, we got a few more weeks of Lucha Underground before we get to Ultima Lucha. We got stuff happening in NXT. Main event is thrown out, some solid matches. We got people who deserve some TV time on there. So overall, a good midweek wrap up, and we want to thank you for watching. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video with your friends. If you didn't like it, share it with your enemies. If you don't want to listen to us, or if you don't want to watch us, check out that podcast.
Absolutely.
Because then you don't have to watch us.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Yes.
Because we got new videos coming out.
We do.
On a second channel.
Yes. Once episode 100 is complete, we'll be opening the second channel. We'll have a website where you'll be able to find all of our information for both channels. New
Reasonable
videos.
Wrestling Fans.
Yes.
Is the name.
Yes.
Get ready for
W2F.
it.
So yeah, you'll be getting non-review type videos. You'll be getting. I'll be doing a video about bad gimmicks and whether or not they can be saved. Thomas Wolfe will be discussing the different aspects of the wrestling business. Whether
and his famous rants.
Yes, he'll be doing some rants on there as well. Kevin Hawk's going to be giving you some recipes to make you drunk.
Yeah, I'm going to get you drunk wrestling style.
Yeah.
And we'll be getting some guest appearances.
Yes.
You'll definitely see some more of possibly Cody Fox and Tony Toxin, who've made appearances on the show before.
Yep.
And there's definitely room on the couch for new guests.
Indeed. And then we're also all coming back to do a brand new formula for Fantasy Warfare.
Yeah.
So be sure to check that out.
Fantastic new formula for Fantasy Warfare.
We're integrating a championship, so be sure to look forward to that. And also, when that comes out, give us some ideas of what matches you want to see. Maybe we'll take some suggestions. But for the videos that are coming out on this week, check out that playlist. We've already got a Raw review up. We got this midweek wrap up. Have SmackDown rundown and some indie news, where we'll have some WSU, CZW, and Ring of Honor results, plus some upcoming shows. So thanks again for watching. We'll see you guys at whatever video you decide to watch next.
Yup. What he said. Also, fuck the Miz.
Yeah, we're running out of guys to say that about.
Yeah, we lost one.
Hashtag we want to say it out.
Hashtag leave Alex Riley home.